We are back, guys. We just finished NFL, college sports, WWE Monday Night Raw. Now we're going to get into our predictions for Sunday's pay-per-view, TLC, SmackDown Live, hit you with some MLB playoffs, and the NBA started. We're Sports Moods, 2 Moody's,
1 Duty.
Sports. Let's go. What's going on, guys? We are back to continue Sports Moods. I am always C Moody here with
D Moody.
And so, like I said, we just ended off of doing Monday Night Raw, recap of that week. Before I get into the TLC matchups and SmackDown Live, I want to give you a kind of an update of what's going on. Like we said earlier, the predictions we made were before the game, and as of right now, the game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Oakland Raiders is going on right now. They're just getting into the third quarter, just under 11 minutes, and Oakland is up 21-20. The last score coming from DeAndre Washington, 4-yard rush. So I think both of us went Kansas City on that, right?
Yeah, it's a back and forth game so far.
Yeah.
Back and forth. A lot of points been put up on the board. A much better looking week for Derek Carr.
Definitely.
Given all what he's been through the last couple of weeks with the injuries and the, subpar performances. So hopefully he can try to get his team back in the win column.
Hopefully not this week, so we can both have a win.
Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
But you also have some some updates on the MLB playoffs.
MLB playoffs right now. The Dodgers,
the
Dodgers
up north.
The Dodgers are currently leading the defending World Series champion Chicago Cubs. Looking like a repeat is not going to be in effect for the Cubs. Down 3-1 in the NLCS right now, trailing in the game 9-1 right now. To the Dodgers, looking to clinch their first World Series berth in 29 seasons. So LA looking to wrap that series up in 5 games tonight in the best of 7 NLCS series. Also right now, we know that tomorrow night we'll see the Yankees travel to Houston to take on the Astros. The Yankees have a 3-2 lead in that series after falling behind 2 games to the Astros to begin the series, and they've ride off 3 straight wins and now look to close it out in Houston next week. Not next week, tomorrow night to try to get to the World Series, which will be starting next week. So that's some things going on with baseball right now. Quick NBA game went final earlier tonight. The first of 2 games on TNT tonight. The Chicago Bulls losing to the Toronto Raptors 117-101 in that game. High man for the Bulls in the game looks like it was Robin Lopez with the center with 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. Also, Markkanen had 17 points and 8 rebounds for the Bulls. And Jay Holiday, the shooting guard, had 15 points, 2 assists, and 4 rebounds. For the Raptors, DeMar DeRozan had 11 points along with 6 rebounds and 5 assists. Kyle Lowry had 12 points, 9 assists, and 4 rebounds. The high man of the night was Valanciunas, who had 23 points, 15 rebounds on the double-double, 2 assists. And also C. Miles, I'm not sure who that is, for the Raptors, but he had 22 points tonight as well and 5 rebounds. But the Raptors get the 117-101 victory. That was a high-scoring fourth quarter, which saw Toronto score 33 points and Chicago score 37, but the Raptors still win by 16 in that one.
And for the other game going on, as of right now, Oklahoma City is up, and it looks like they're going to have the game one with just 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Oklahoma City Thunder is facing the New York Knicks. I almost said Yankees just now. I had to really pause.
There's a lot of sports going on, man.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is, but it's a good time. Currently going on TNT. As of right now, the scores for the Thunder are their big three. We have Carmelo Anthony with 22 points, Paul George with 28 points, Westbrook with 21 points, 16 assists, and 10 rebounds. So it looks like he's going back into that averaging a triple-double hunt again this year, which I honestly didn't think he would have it with the amount of offense he has right now. But it looks like they're having good chemistry, at least against the Knicks. On the other side of the ball, we have Kristaps Porzingis, which now without Carmelo Anthony is pretty much the star of this team, and it's showing that he's taking control of it with 31 points right now, 31 points and 12 rebounds. And there's Cantor behind him, having 10 points and 7 rebounds. And those are pretty much the big scores. The rest of the stats are pretty much spread between the rest of the Knicks front. And now under 3 minutes, the score remains the same, 101-80. So unless Kristaps Porzingis can finish off well, it looks like they're pretty much overwhelmed by the new big three in the West, which is now Westbrook, George, and Anthony.
Yeah.
And later on tonight, we have at 10:30 tonight, we have the LA Clippers going on to face a debuting Lonzo Ball with the Los Angeles Lakers.
Okay, I should be anxious to see what's going on. The battle of Los Angeles there.
The Battle of LA, huh?
Yeah. So now we're going to get into our WWE Raw exclusive pay-per-view tables, ladders, and chairs, and our picks of who we think is going to win those matches at this pay-per-view. And then next week we'll also have a dedicated podcast for the TLC reviewing all the matches and everything that took place at this pay-per-view. So we'll let C Moody go ahead and run down the list of matches for the pay-per-view, or the card as they call it in wrestling, and we'll give you our thoughts of who we think is going to win.
Okay. Guys, as always, I don't have it in a particular order. I don't know how the order will be Sunday. I do know at least the kickoff match will be Sasha Banks facing Alicia Fox, continuing their mini feud, which I like. Once again, I just feel like it's building for her to look good against Asuka when she falls in line to be sacrificed. Who do you think is going to come out of this?
On that reasoning. I mean, Sasha's won so many big matches. I think it's time for her to start putting some other people over.
Yeah.
So I think she is going to lose this match. It may be because of a technicality, but Alicia Fox may find a way to slither away with a victory. We do know a couple of months ago they were back and forth getting pinfalls over each other. A couple of months ago. Remember with the whole thing with Noam Dar and Sasha, they had that little beef going on there, which was kind of irrelevant. So now we're right back here again. But this time, Alicia Fox kind of standing on her own, going up against Sasha Banks without Noam Dar. So I think Alicia Fox will win by virtue of some kind of technicality, and she'll win just to maybe for Sasha to put her over.
Yeah. I guess I agree. I feel like maybe the only way I wouldn't see Sasha winning.
I want Sasha to win, but I just feel like just the booking, the way things are going, I would be surprised.
But I said that wrong. I worded that wrong. But what I'm getting at is there a way that Alicia wins and Sasha doesn't look weaker and lose.
That's what I was saying. How would
has
they
to win
be
off a
creative
technicality.
on that? Yeah.
So I feel like I say the same idea, but it would be in the reverse efforts. Like Sasha wins, but it's by a technicality. So that way she comes out, but it looks like Alicia had her number, but for whatever reason, Sasha gets that win. Which I feel like it might happen more so in your way, because this way it looks like Alicia has that win under her belt, regardless.
And then you was bringing it up like, hey, I want to be the next person to get Asuka.
Because I just beat, I just beat Sasha.
Banks, and then, Kurt loves to grant people opportunities. So okay. I won't be surprised.
With that idea, I'm going to go with Alicia with you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go Alicia. So
who else we got?
The next we have a tag match between Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann facing the Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher.
I'm gonna go with the Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher. I just feel like these guys are conniving. They'll do anything to win. They're gonna find some kind of way to take it away from Rich Swann. And then now I know Rich Swann and Alexander, they both have a lot of talent in the ring. All these guys, as a matter of fact. But Rich Swann and Alexander are two of my favorite cruiserweight fighters.
Right.
And I think their chemistry together is going to work. But I still think some kind of way the villains will come away and we could possibly see some kind of rematch or follow-up of this match on 205 Live or maybe Monday Night Raw. But I think Gallagher and... because you think about it, lately Alexander's been getting the best of them. Remember how he kind of stepped on the Brian Kendrick's leg.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of missed him, kind of stabilized him. And I think that could be something that he uses at the pay-per-view. Like, oh, his leg's hurting. And maybe try to make it seem like he can't fight or continue.
Yeah, that's what Brian Kendrick does, though.
And then maybe find a way to get like some kind of faulty win because of that.
Yeah, I like that idea. But
I know that Swann and them was going to win, but I just think Gallagher and them.
And honestly, I feel the exact opposite. I feel like I know Kendrick and Gallagher is going to win, but I'm going with them.
Okay.
So
it should be something to see. That's on the kickoff show too?
I don't think so.
That's on the main card.
It might be on the main card. It might be the first match.
Two cruiserweight matches on the main card.
Yeah.
It goes to show you.
Good job, Enzo.
Yeah, good job, Enzo, but no Brock, no Joe.
Yeah. I hope Joe comes soon, man. We really need
I thought it was going to be him to be the fifth man, though.
That would have been good.
Yeah, I thought it would have been him.
That would have been really good. So we have the next match that I have listed. Once again, I have no particular order. Cruiserweight Championship match. Kalisto versus Enzo.
I think Enzo's going to get it back.
Yeah, I do too. Immediately.
I think it was just like we talked about last week, just for the sake of the
Eddie's birthday
Guerrero situation, and just he's got to get it back because he's really doing really good with the cruiserweights, doing a lot better than what I thought he would. And not just for the sake of just the match part of it, but he's giving it relevance.
Oh, yeah, definite.
And he's giving it actual airtime, and we're seeing more cruiserweights. We're learning their names. We know who they are.
Right.
Because it's getting more exposure. So I think Enzo's going to get the strap back.
Yeah, he got to. He got to get the title, not the belt.
The belt, the title. I'll just say strap.
Yeah. Yeah, I just said it because I wanted to say belt, but I remember that last time he said
Vince doesn't want you.
It's weird. Why, Vince? I need a letter.
You notice they don't say Elias Sampson anymore. It's just Elias now.
I wonder why. That's weird too. Why they took off his last name?
They always cut people's names short.
Yeah, but
remember when TJP, before it was TJP, they used to say his whole name?
Yeah.
Now it's just TJP.
I don't even remember his full name now. What, TJ Perkins? Was it just TJ Perkins?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, I thought it was like he had,
TJP.
Yeah, that's weird. So next,
he always chops something up.
Next, we have the Battle of the Paint. Finn Balor, the Demon,
video editing software,
versus Sister Abigail, reincarnated into Bray Wyatt. Boom, boom, boom. He has to have a new theme music.
Catching flies.
He has to have a new theme music for this.
In his mouth. Tasty free.
He has to. He has to have a new theme music. Like, that music is just, like I said last time.
How you say?
Yeah.
Had the little thing for
Like,
for the DB King.
Yeah, I like that, bro. Like it gives. Even though he's generally kind of using the same theme music, like it's just that presence bringing it in makes it seem more. It makes it seem different. Mm-hmm. But for Bray, him being a possessed new creature can't have that little just ominous thing to me. Now he might somehow they might make it work, or just have like something added at the beginning, just like Finn's on, to make it feel different. So we'll see. But who do you have for it?
Gotta go with my boy. I think the Demon gonna get him.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Finn, because Finn was technically ended it last time. They just had to keep this going because Samoa Joe didn't come back.
Yeah, so there's really nobody else. I mean, they really could have just. They could have did so much. They could have went in so many different directions with this.
But now they're saying that Brock might come back in this match. Now, I don't know if he's going to be in a match for Survivor Series particular, but his next feud will be against Finn Balor, because before they showed that we're not done with this feud, that Finn said that he wants to go back for his title. So I feel like, now they might actually let this go.
Paul Heyman also said he thought Finn would,
Which is going to... I really don't know how I want to see this match, that upcoming match, Finn versus Brock. It just has nothing good about it. Like, the only thing I can see good happening is Finn having that little pop like he did as a demon. Like, somebody throws a suplex and he just jumps up and stands there like it didn't hurt. But then about several suplexes later, it's just... So both,
it's like a David Goliath type thing. There.
Yeah. And we know that Goliath is going to win until WrestleMania. So next match we have the debut of Asuka versus the Women's Revolution starter Emma. I'm gonna just go ahead and put both of us for Asuka. I'm just
yeah, for obvious reasons.
The more I talked about it, the less I even. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna
find her way through the roster pretty easily.
Like Emma, she has to go on leave after this match. Just to me, like it should be pretty. It should be bad.
Yeah, you probably won't see her for a while afterwards.
Yeah, it should.
Or if she pops back up, she might want a rematch. And they might let her fight her again, and she beats her again.
Yeah, just stop, Emma. But yeah. I mean, I feel like she was starting to look better as a person, but like I said, it was just a build up for her. At least it doesn't look like they're going to give Asuka squash matches like, others have. So now we finally get our Women's Championship match, which is Alexa Bliss versus Mickie James.
Little Miss Bliss is going to win.
You think so?
Yeah. I don't think they're going to drop the title off of her right now. She'll find a way. She's the only person right now that would look good with the title at this point.
I don't want to see Alexa Asuka. I hate to say. I mean, I don't want to see
Mickie James Asuka.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't want to see Mickie James Asuka, but
I think Bliss being such a good heel,
but she's a cowardly.
She's a cowardly heel, but then sometimes when she can get a little dark sometimes, but she's a cowardly heel. But I think she'll be the only one that could really get that rivalry across now if Nia Jax is truly gone. Because we know Bayley ain't going to heal up. And Sasha's just
in the middle.
In the middle, she's just in her own space. So it would make sense for it to be Bliss for Asuka to work her way up to. There's really no other women out there other than Bliss at this moment.
I'm giving it to Mickie, but I don't see it happening.
Now, she ain't that mid-kick. Could be all she wrote, but
because
I don't see it happening.
And then they build up a lot about her trying to get her 7th title. So I feel like maybe,
or if she wins it, Bliss is gonna get it right back.
Yeah, I feel like that. Like I still feel like it's going to end up being Asuka Bliss, but yeah, I feel like they'll get it for her just so her can add that on her record column, and then Bliss gets it back. So just like they did with Akira Tozawa, which was unfortunate for me. I really like Akira. So, and now we have our from the looks of it, the only TLC match.
TLC pay-per-view.
Right, with only one TLC match, and it's going to be The Shield facing The Miz, Sheamus, Cesaro.
Let's call him the Bar.
Braun Strowman. I wanted to call him the It Bar. You didn't like it.
I like the Bar.
And now...
We don't accept the Bar. We are
the Bar.
Cesaro kills me. He says that.
Yeah, and now adding to the matches now that. Well, they can't. I guess they don't want to call him the Demon Kane right now because of Finn.
I don't know if he's the Big Red Machine Kane, the Demon Kane.
He's just Kane right now. They should make a faction, Kane and Finn.
Kane's been so many different Kanes.
Kane and Finn. New tag.
Or they could rival against each other. The Demon versus Kane.
I guess. That might be good. But I really want to see them be a tag. Like, I just like, both of them are demons, like true, supposed to be demons.
Could be.
So,
could be.
I mean, I feel like Kane maybe need to get in some better shape. But, I mean, that still fits to me. So,
yeah.
But I don't see them painting.
When I found out about Kane in his real life, he's I don't know if he's already a mayor.
Yeah, he's a campaigning for mayor.
For a mayor somewhere, so
yeah,
that would be pretty cool.
That might if he does win, that might kind of inhibit him from continuing with Raw for so long.
Yep.
So that I guess pretty much the winner. Who do you feel on that? But I mean that kind of limits on what he's going to do.
I think the Shield wins. I wouldn't be surprised if the Miz and them find some kind of way to get a victory, but I think, the Shield will get the victory. I don't think we build them up to come back just to lose. All this hitting at it, and finally we get them back together in rare form, and I just don't think they lose their first match back. There would be no reason to bring them back. For them just to lose.
It is.
I mean, I understand what the thing you pitched earlier with the going back to the 1-by-1, but I just don't see them losing that right now.
Yeah,
I think they get beat up pretty bad, and I think at the end they'll start to gain the momentum. Somebody's going to get eliminated from the match. Somebody's going to get hurt to where it's going to be even. It may even get down to 2 people or something to where somebody gets hurt or something to where they get eliminated and it comes down to 3
I can't see the Shield winning. I just can't. It doesn't help anybody on the other side. I mean,
because this is just a one-time thing here.
But still, it doesn't
because
help.
You're going to start building towards Survivor Series now.
But see, you can build Survivor Series. Like, this is a Survivor Series match. If you build it for them to beat the Shield, because the Shield's going to come back.
Be a Survivor Series like it was last year, where it was team versus team or whatever. It could be just a regular, like cross-brand pay-per-view where you just have, especially hearing what we heard on SmackDown Live this week.
That's what I was thinking of.
We don't know if it's going to be Raw versus SmackDown, or team versus team or anything. But I'm gonna go with Shield though. I'm gonna go with the boys. I think they'll find a way to get it done. I'm
going with everyone else because I don't know.
Get all this, the Shield, and I'm so
but
glad,
see, now,
and they're back, and they got the music, they got the boots, and all of this, and you're just gonna pick them to lose.
But no because the story that I envision now fits it better to me because now because I would be satisfied in them losing. Like, I would be like, of course, it's 5 dudes. Like, it's Braun Strowman. Like, I was pretty much like, dang, like, they gotta lose because of Braun. And now you add Kane, like, they gotta lose to me. And so now it builds their story better because now they're not just gonna go off into the sunset, break off, and be like, oh, we just lost. And for one, Miz is gonna, like you say, come back on Monday and say, I did this. I created the best faction ever and all this stuff.
Beat the Shield.
Exactly. So now the Shield's gonna they're gonna want their revenge. They're gonna be like, they're gonna announce it. They're gonna be at Survivor Series. They'll be like, who do you have? You can't beat us just 3. And it's like now the weeks come. They're either gonna build up for them to get 2 more people, or they're gonna start taking out the big ones. They're gonna take out Kane. They're gonna take out Braun, and now it's just the Miz and Sheamus and Cesaro.
I wouldn't be surprised if Kane sticks around, him and Braun tag to take the belts from them.
Oh, that'd be horrible.
It would be though.
Oh my god!
Now they would have the tag team division on lock.
Yeah,
if that was to happen, but I don't really see that happening. But
I would want to see that though, because it's going to be dominant. You can't. Who's going to stop that? Like, I mean, maybe. I mean, but Sheamus and Cesaro is going to be on their team. Technically,
but that's what I was about to say. Then what happens with them?
Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, though. I mean, that's the only one I can see possibly standing a chance.
But I think Braun needs to. He don't need to go into a tag team mode. He just needs to be.
I mean, everybody falls down sometimes, even the Big Show. I mean, because we saw the passing of the torch with him beating the Big Show at the steel cage. Like, say, I'm the new biggest athlete now. So, you know, they're not going to use him right now. They're clearly not. So, why not?
We'll see. But I think the Shield got it, man. I'm going to go with the boys.
I got everybody else. I want the Shield to win, but I got everybody else. Because logically, to me, the Shield can't win. I can't see the formula on how everybody looks good with the Shield winning. And for me, I'm particularly saying Braun Strowman, because I don't want Braun Strowman to look weaker. Like, he's too early, and he's already went so far up for him to start falling drastically. Mm-hmm. So, but that's it. So,
all right, so we got our picks for TLC of who we think is gonna take it out and walk out on top. It is this Sunday night on WWE Network, so for all you wrestling fans, please tune in to watch that. Our podcast for the TLC review will be up next week. So now we're going to shift guards, and we're going to get ready to...
Let's go into it.
Yeah, we can go ahead and roll into SmackDown Live, since we're right here with the WWE. So... basically looking at it right now, begin with General Manager Daniel Bryan coming down to the ring, pretty much saying, "Hey, I want to address someone who disappointed me at Hell in a Cell."
Yeah,
and we all know who that person was. It's Sami Zayn. So Sami Zayn comes out, kind of defending himself, like, "Hey, Daniel, I'm still the same guy I've always been," and he's just like, saying that he and Daniel had a lot in common, but he reclaimed ownership of his career, pretty much unlike Daniel Bryan did.
Because he doesn't care about the fans anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't care about the fans, don't care what people think, and doing things for himself now. Basically telling Daniel, like, hey, if you would have been a little bit smarter, you wouldn't have had to retire. So then KO comes out.
Hold on, you missed the key part.
What's the big key part?
He called this man a housewife.
Zayn said that?
Yeah,
I missed that part.
Zayn called that man a housewife.
Wow. I thought that was Owens later down the...
No, Owens said something more disrespectful.
Okay, but he called him a housewife.
But he the one who started the fire calling him a housewife.
That is kind of... I did not know he said that.
Yeah.
Whew, excuse me, that's... Man. But
so now Kevin Owens,
KO comes down with the belly and all, and he comes out and he's just pretty much adding, like you said, to the fire. They're just pretty much ganging up on Daniel at this time, saying Daniel has pretty much become what he's fought against his whole career, saying he's a sellout and all that. And Daniel Bryan took it, but then he just kind of had his feel of it, and he was just like walked out of the ring. And they're like, yeah, Daniel, he's just doing. At that point, I'm thinking he's doing the walk of shame. I'm thinking Daniel's gonna just hold his head down,
right.
Walk in the back. But then he stopped and he's like, where are you going, Daniel? He's like, I'm going in the back here to find two guys to punch you guys in the face or something.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
hilarious.
So, what do you think of that little confrontation there?
I thought it was perfect, actually. It kind of really made Sammy a heel for me. That was his solidifying promo. Mm-hmm. And then, like I said, when Kevin Owens came in, he added on to the housewife name, and he called Daniel Bryan Mr. Bella.
Yeah, he did say that. I did remember him saying that.
So those two things, like, now it's like they're tagging, like...
Yeah, they're offsetting each other pretty much.
Right. So I really like them two. I mean, of course we could expect great chemistry from them. They're literally best friends in real life.
Yep. So, and I like too how Sami Zayn was like, he thanked Kevin Owens for sparing him the same fate of Daniel Bryan. Like, this could have been me. Hey, this could be me right here, doing everything the right way, and then later down the line in my career, being what Daniel Bryan is now. So that was pretty much the opening. We learned more who Daniel Bryan would find later in the show to potentially punch these two guys in the mouth. So then I think we rolled into
one of your favorite moments.
When I saw it, I'm just like, I just.
Not again.
WWE, please stop with these multi-women matches every week. It's a fatal 4-way or a tag match or something. I understand you want to use all these women, and it's okay to want to do that, but I just don't want to see it every single week.
Survivor Series 12-woman tag match: Raw's women versus SmackDown.
It's just getting to the point now where it's just you almost can book it every week.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
And then what made it even worse was Lana. Like, why is Lana even in a WWE ring? If y'all don't get her off my TV, let her just be the manager for Tamina. I don't want to see Lana wrestle.
That's funny.
It is cringeworthy to see her wrestle. It is just so bad.
It really is.
It's terrible.
And I wrote it down too. I put "Stop letting Lana wrestle." I got it written down.
And when they do that, it's just like, why? What is anybody going to gain from this?
Nothing.
Like, she's going to make herself look even worse than she already does.
You remember when they gave her 2 title matches? Like
initially? 3. I'm like, what makes her worthy of a championship match when she can't even wrestle? At least be able to wrestle a little bit.
Right. It's really bad. Yeah.
She get a title match for Tamina? Really?
So the 6-woman tag match was Naomi, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte versus Natalya, Tamina, and Lana, with Carmella and Ellsworth at ringside. So, and pretty much, it pretty much just ends with Charlotte hitting a figure 8 on Lana. It's like, what do you expect?
And Lana's sitting there like,
oh, it was horrible. Like even her selling it was horrible to me.
Yeah.
Like,
and then I think Natalya tried to sneak Charlotte with a chair, and Charlotte was able to catch on to what she was doing.
And then she chases
her.
her.
She ran through the crowd
immediately.
Yeah, she was out of there pretty quickly. So I don't know what the state of the women's division right now in
it is none.
The WWE SmackDown, on the SmackDown side at least.
Right. We at least have some indication of what's going to happen with Raw. Oscar's just going to take over.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe Nia Jax goes to SmackDown.
Just got,
I said maybe Nia Jax goes to SmackDown.
Could be, but I think you should. But I still want to see what her and Oscar would look like.
They're not going to let it happen.
I know they're not, but it's.
And I wouldn't. And to me, Oscar couldn't face Nia Jax before anybody else. Like, to me, Nia Jax is the end of the road in the women's division. Mm-hmm. So to book her before Alexa Bliss or possibly Mickie James, it just won't look good. It's like you
I see what you're saying, because it's like, but what do we do with Nia Jax? So we maybe have just lost a really good.
It's unfortunate.
Competitor on the women's side for Raw.
Good job, WWE. You did it again. You just lost Neville. And here's the thing, backtracking to when I talked about the Bullet Club's invasion on Raw. Mm-hmm. One of their writers was caught taking a picture with the Bullet Club, and they fired him. And then here's a funny thing. Wrestle Talk TV just talked about it I think the day before yesterday. I was watching it, and they said the Bullet Club, during one of their little matches or whatever, at the end, they trying to take a picture, and they didn't have a camera. So the writer that they fired from WWE comes out of the crowd with the camera to take a picture with the Bullet Club. Like, as kind of a joke for why WWE left them, let them go. Which they claimed it was other reasons, but that was like, it happened immediately.
Usually they heard that, fired him.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, that was the 6-woman tag that just really didn't do anything for me.
I got you.
Thank you. I mean, never fails. Every week we're going to get some kind of multi people. Like even on Raw, we saw the 6-man tag with the club and.
But hey, those might be factions. Those might become factions.
Then we got Baron Corbin. Second straight week, no Ty Dillinger. I really thought that would be the next person he would feud with, and then randomly Sin Cara just from obscurity, just comes from nowhere. And then Corbin. It's like teased the fact of, hey, this could be a U.S. Open Challenge match here.
And he's like,
and he was like, you know what? Nah, the U.S. Open is closed. Challenge is closed or whatever.
Right.
So he fights Sin Cara. Sin Cara did some good stuff. It was a pretty quick match. He won by count out. So, Baron Corbin couldn't get back in the ring before the 10 count. So I don't know, by him scoring this win by virtue of a count out, will put him in line to get a championship match for the U.S. title. I'm not sure. I'm hoping Ty Dillinger comes back maybe and tries to.
It's going to be a Ty Dillinger Sin Cara match.
And then whoever wins that probably. I could see that. But because I think the big thing is at this point what Dillinger is going to say is, hey, you pinned me to win the belt. So. You wouldn't be champion without pinning me or something like that. So give me my one-on-one shot. Every time I faced you, you've always taken the easy way out. Or he's probably going to piggyback off what AJ used to always say about piggybacking and all that. I'm not piggybacking, but saying he took the short. I don't know what I just said just now. Piggybacking, or taking the shortcut. Or NBA, as they say in basketball, for people who know it, cherry picking. You just standing back down the other end, letting the other guys run down and play defense, and then you want them to just throw you the ball
so you can score quick.
So same thing here with Corbin. So I don't know where this is going to go with Sin Cara, but
also in between these matches, we had, to me, was a pretty lackluster Fashion Files skit. This time.
Didn't really.
It was with the Ascension. They tried to kind of go off of the Pulp Fiction movie, which is Pulp Fashion, as they called it. And the bulk of it was really Tyler looks like he chokes and dies off of a cheeseburger. And the Ascension says that they'll help bring him back, but they have to agree to be best friends. And right when Fandango's like, Tyler Breeze spits it out, and he's like, I'm not allergic to it. No, because Fandango thought it was pickles in it, and he's like, he's definitely allergic. And Tyler was like, no, I'm not allergic. It was just a bad burger. And so the Ascension was like, but we're best friends now. And then Fandango was like, I never said that. Mm-hmm. And so then they put their hands out to we're best friends. And then the fashion police, they just walked out on them. So, which to me, the only good thing
it was
out
better
of this
without the Ascension attached to it.
It was. I feel like they're doing it just to make the Ascension relevant. But I will say this: the last time they used the Ascension, they really got the Ascension over as babyface. Like when they walked out or abandoned them. However they did it the last time, you heard the crowd really emotional, "Aw, poor Ascension." So. I mean, if they're trying to make Ascension look like a babyface team, they're doing a good job. But besides that, this particular episode, I didn't like it.
And then I think we also saw where Daniel Bryan ran back into Kevin Owens and Bryan and Zayn in the backstage area, and it was just kind of like, hey, so who do you find to punch us in the mouth? Like, hey, who you got for us? Like, whatever. He was like, you know what? I have somebody for you. He's like, so many people are lining up to want to punch you two in the mouth. But tonight, you and Sami Zayn, you guys are gonna fight Shinsuke Nakamura. I knew that's who it was gonna be. Literally, I'm gonna find guys to fight. I said, Randy Orton has nothing to do. Nakamura has nothing to do. Gonna be the same thing like last week.
They might as well make them a tag team. Might as well.
So we learned that it's gonna be Nakamura, Orton versus Zayn and Owens later in the night, possibly the main event. And then we've been seeing graphics all night. So obviously, Jinder the Canadian is back from India, and he's in the building, and he has this major announcement he wants to make regarding Survivor Series. So he comes down to the ring.
I'm sorry.
You good?
He comes down to the ring, and Michael Cole's there this week.
Oh yeah, that is right.
And while they're showing like the trips of India, Michael Cole relays that they're having upcoming shows December 8th and 9th where
he's going to defend the belt. So that's how you already know he's going to be. That's the same thing I wrote here. I literally wrote the same thing down. You already know he's going to be the champion. That's why I said he possibly going into the first of the year, the champ, or just maybe go to the Mania, and like I told you, it's going to be monumental.
Who he's going to face Cena? Cena? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I do see that. The more you say it, I do see that happening.
Because now he's already saying, as we get into it, I'll let you know why.
Go ahead.
More and more. So he comes down to the ring. He kind of reviews, what his trip was like in India. And it was finally good to go back home, to be appreciated, and he did the finest restaurants and 5-star restaurants. And he was on all these different things he did, whatever it was he did when he was there. And he was talking about, a little kid or something came up to him and was just like, hey, Jinder, giving him all this praise.
Who's next?
Who's next? What's next for you?
You're so great.
You're so great. You've already beaten Randy Orton several times. You've already beaten Nakamura several times. So what's next for Jinder Mahal? And so Jinder Mahal goes into it, and he's just like, he thought about what the kid was saying. It's just like, you know what? There's no competition on SmackDown Live anymore for me. Like, I've done everything there is to do here. There's nothing else here for me to do. So what I gonna do? And when he said this, I literally bust out laughing so loud.
I was confused. I was
when he said, I just like, how you laugh at like when somebody says something that just like you don't know what you're asking for. I was like, it was like a laugh, like you realize what you're asking for. So the big announcement was for Jinder. He wants to fight the Beast incarnate. The reigning, defending, undisputed, universal champion of the world, Brock Lesnar.
I was like, is he serious?
I was like, I literally laughed. I'm serious, I laughed. I was like, and I had like a straight face while I was laughing. I was like, you really...
you are stupid, huh?
You really want... You know what you're asking for? So you think... First off, I just try to imagine this scenario.
The Sin brothers are going to die.
And that's what I was thinking about there. I said, first off, he going to snap them in two.
One of the Sin brothers
he going to suplex them out of the arena. Because they so little anyway. Because as soon as he wrap around them and he grabs them and just throws them back, they're going to fly 500 feet in the air.
Yeah. One of those two is literally...
You know what reminded me of, though? You remember when he was battling with Seth Rollins with J&J Security? How he did it?
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
it's gonna be.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Probably worse.
It will be. If they even do
worse.
this, it's gonna be real. It's gonna be really bad.
Yeah. So when he asked for that, I'm just sitting here like, I know WWE is not going this route. And then again, I kind of want to see it because I really want him to lose. Because I don't know they would not allow him to beat Brock Lesnar and just overtake Brock like that. So I think this is just more of a tease of anything.
Yeah, I don't think it's real.
I don't think Brock is going to take it serious.
Which it'll make sense. I mean, Survivor Series is supposed to be
brand versus brand.
Yeah, what I think of it as is brand versus brand. So what better brand versus brand thing to do is to have the brand of Raw's champion and the brand of SmackDown's champion. They should do the same with all of them. I think really the bulk of the Survivor Series should be a title fight between all of them to see who's the better between the two. That's just my opinion.
But I just don't even think Brock will waste his time. I can literally see Brock looking at him just, how he did a little smirk like really? You?
Exactly.
You of all people, like
why? Why do you want this? Like, do you?
But I really think it'd be some good promos though, because I think Paul Heyman would cut him down so bad. I really do. But then we hear they don't want none. No, they don't
finally.
want none.
You've been calling it. You've been calling it.
Didn't I tell you?
You did.
Didn't I
You said
tell
it. You said it.
I told you so. I can see these things sometimes, man.
Yeah.
So I knew that. I said, this is the way to get AJ back up on the mainstream. Because you notice, like, after that title loss to Corbin, it was just, when I saw Corbin with Sin Cara, I said, yeah, AJ is gone. He's back in the big picture now.
Right.
So I was like, him and Corbin, this obviously is not going to continue if Sin Cara's up here. So AJ comes out and he was like, can you kind of just repeat what you just said? I want to make sure I heard you correctly. And he's just like, yeah, you heard what I said. I challenged the Beast, Brock Lesnar. He's like, no, I'm not talking about that. I don't care less about that. And then he was like,
Go ahead. Finish that.
He was like, did I just hear you say you beating everybody on SmackDown Live? He was like, but you haven't beaten me. He was like, no. And then Jinder tried to backpedal like, hey, that's what the kid, I was just saying what the kid was saying. You know, I didn't say
but
that.
It's true.
But
I am better than...
But it's true, though. And he was just like, but you haven't beaten me. He was like, AJ, you know, he was looking at AJ, like, why are you out here? Do you know who you're talking to? Like, do you understand who I am and, you know, what I've done and all this? And
do you know how many people I've killed?
Yeah, so I was glad to see AJ come out. What did you think about AJ coming out?
Well, for one, like we just said, you called it, definitely. I'm glad and I'm sad. The only reason I'm sad about this, and it puts me in a bad mood, is because we've watched Randy Orton get played with. We've watched Shinsuke get played with. I don't want AJ to get
He's got to build his resume, so when Cena takes him down, he's beaten Randy Orton, a blase time champion. He beat the hottest thing that was in the WWE in Shinsuke Nakamura, when he first came to the WWE. He's beaten the phenomenal. I don't really think they should do that to AJ.
They shouldn't,
but it's going to happen.
Yeah. It is. It's inevitable.
It's
especially if they're doing that route for Jinder to lose it.
So it's got to be him after he beats AJ. He gonna be the I'm the high exalted Jinder Mahal. Like there's nobody worthy to fight me.
His suit's gonna be white after that match.
Yeah, and I think Cena, that'll be enough time for Cena to finish his little movie, come back around Royal Rumble, start a little 2-month feud with Jinder, and then beat him at Mania.
But then what Cena's gonna do? Cena's too Hollywood.
He's gonna win the belt.
He bet not. I don't want him
who's gonna win it off
Brock
him?
Lesnar. I don't want him to be a Brock Lesnar.
You know who's gonna win it off?
AJ Styles.
AJ's gonna take it back from him. He's gonna get a title win back over him, or could be some kind of shakeup to where Reigns.
Well, you know that happens after every WrestleMania.
To where Reigns goes to SmackDown.
But then Reigns will have the championship. He can't leave.
Oh yeah, that's just right. I forgot about that.
It's going to be Reigns and Cena as the top. Matter of fact, that makes perfect sense. Reigns, the new face of WWE, and Cena, the old face of WWE, both the best champions of all time.
I think that before Cena retires, he's got to fight Roman one more time. So I don't know, but I don't want to get too far off. But I just feel like,
well, here's the thing: if Reigns or Cena loses it, you know they have that little trade at the end of SummerSlam, so one of them could lose their championship and go to the other place.
Could be.
So
could be.
I'm sorry.
No, you good. Go ahead.
I keep having ideas.
No, you good.
WWE finally get smart again and do what they used to do and let
I don't think
people
that's possible, but go ahead. WWE, I mean, they're just getting worse.
But let them kind of cross brand, be like, oh, Roman Reigns is on SmackDown, Cena's on Raw, all that old stuff.
Yeah, yeah, like they used to. I used to love when he's not supposed to be here.
Right.
What is he doing here? They did that a little bit last year. Remember when Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar fought? And then Randy showed up on Raw with the RKO, and then Lesnar came back on SmackDown, and
that was dope though.
Yeah, I like to see that.
That ending was horrible, but that was a good feud.
Yeah, I like how they just popped up out of nowhere, And like Shane knew Brock was coming because he had all the people around the ring, and Brock just standing in the crowd like, those little men ain't gonna do nothing for me.
Right.
And he jumps over and does what he does. So, but, and then, AJ just like, hey, you never fought me before, and, you trying to put this title on the line against me. He's basically saying AJ isn't worthy. He needs to, did he say get to the back of the line or something like that? You need to get to the back of the line, and you're not worthy, and you don't realize who you're in the ring with. And somehow he took the turban off, and then I forgot what made them go to blows.
I don't know either.
But all of a sudden they just start like getting.
I think AJ took the first.
Yeah,
hit,
AJ took the first hit or whatever, and then the little Singh brothers tried to get in, and they didn't really do much either. And AJ hit him with a Pele kick and pretty much knocked him out of the ring, and that was that. How this is going to play out with the Brock Lesnar thing, I don't know.
And I wanted to say this when we was talking about Brock Lesnar. There's something that just told me to go look online, because I know Paul Heyman is usually avid on social media, and he has a couple of posts saying that this is his last post he made. He said, as his advocate, I hereby encourage you to watch the reigning, defending, undisputed Universal Champion #Universal Champion Brock Lesnar's response live on Raw. So we know that Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman will be on Raw next week.
Monday. Okay.
So
that's huge.
Yeah.
So is he going to answer Jinder Mahal's challenge? Which he probably will, just for the sake of, you got to have some kind of brand crossing rivalry just for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, consider Survivor Series.
Yeah. So I would probably like to see Jinder show up on Raw and then Brock show up on, but it's not believable for me with Jinder.
Yeah.
Because he's going to destroy the little Singh brothers.
I really hope the Sin brothers just like leave. Like the Sin brothers just be like, "Hey, this is a bad."
They've already shown that they'll take punishment for Jinder, because you remember in the Punjabi,
oh yeah,
how he fell off the side of that, and then remember how Randy Orton threw both of them through the tables with that little thing, kind of like he did this week to Zayn.
Yeah,
how he do a little thing and then drop them on their back. So, I mean, they'll take punishment for their Maharaja. They'll take punishment for him.
Yeah, they will.
But he is. Jinder the Canadian is back, and we like C Moody hit the spoiler out there. I didn't understand why Michael Cole was on SmackDown, but he did mention that they're going to go do some live shows in India, and Jinder's going to defend his title there.
Also, from Wrestle Talk TV on YouTube, one of their sources says that the matches that he'll be defending his title against will be Kevin Owens. I mean, it's a live match. Nobody's going to see it, but yeah, that's what they're saying it's going to be. So I guess in India, they're going to book Jinder as a babyface. So that makes sense against Kevin Owens, because he's going to be the heel. But yeah, so that's what their sources on Wrestle Talk TV is giving me.
Ah, man. But anyway, we're going to move on from that. Then we ended up with Ziggler and Rude in their rematch.
I forgot. I didn't even write that down.
Yeah, it was not. Okay, that's enough. But it's ended the same way the other one did. It's just a roll up for Ziggler.
And Ziggler did all this talk about you cheated because you did the roll up, and then he did it. And it was like, I told you I'm better. Like I'm already tired of seeing this.
I just want more for Bobby Roode at this point.
Yeah, I'm disappointed because I'm uninterested in Bobby Roode. Like outside of when I see him, like once the music
entrance
comes on,
they're really
I'm
making it.
in.
They're making it just hype for the entrance, because the storyline sucks, and it's just. I mean, I like what Ziggler's doing.
I like his idea.
Of it, but I mean, after a while, how long is that going to stick?
Yeah.
And it's really not a lot of good chemistry there with him and Dolph in the ring either.
I thought it would be a lot better.
Yeah,
maybe they're holding it for something. Like maybe they're just like, we'll wait until like we give them a real match. So I don't know.
But yeah, that's pretty much. I don't really have much to say on that, because it's
embarrassing.
Just a little fight here and there for about 10, 12 minutes, and then it was a roll up, and that was it.
Was it even that long?
Might not even been that long. It just wasn't really a good match.
Trash.
So then we get to the main event. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, tag team action versus Shinsuke Nakamura and the Viper Randy Orton. This was actually a pretty decent match.
It was.
I liked it.
I like the fact that the table went out under Sami Zayn. Like,
yeah, I did like
that.
So. I didn't expect that either. I love when Randy Orton does that, and I love the little smirk he did. Like, bro, I got you on that one. Yeah, but I like Randy. I mean, I don't know what they're doing with Randy.
Nothing.
He's just there collecting a paycheck, so
pretty much
he's paid well, so he just does whatever they ask him to do. And I thought about what you were saying too, how you were like, he made the comments about Kevin Owens, so and them getting together in the ring outside. Hopefully, I was trying to see if I could see any real life animosity.
I was too
between them, but I really didn't see that.
I was trying to listen to see if Kevin Owens would say something like, "Who's fat now?"
Like something like anything, or anything. But I really didn't. He kind of stayed within his character with it. It got down to the end there. It was getting pretty close. As we know, we did see Sami Zayn get, I don't know what you call that move.
What, the
kick?
It
starts like a back, like it's going to be like a backdrop, and then he just lets him just go in the air.
Oh, talking about through the table?
Yeah, I don't know what that move
is
called. I guess a backdrop or whatever.
Pick up and go.
Yep, and it just launches you in the air, and then you just come flat down on your back, but then the table collapsed underneath him. And did you hear Michael Cole was like, well, that's why we have the announce table at the top of the to avoid these type things. But sometimes they'll make their way up there and still.
Right.
You just saw it the week before he put Shield put Strowman through it. So they're going to find the announce table.
If they need that table, they're going to find it.
So, and it just came down to where Orton's in the ring. KO is distracting the ref on the apron, and Zayn goes for the old this trick in the book, the Ric Flair low blow, and then he hits a haluva kick and 1, 2, 3, and they get the win. Then they act like a bunch of teenagers after they win.
They did. I thought it was fun though. I really thought it was fun.
They're just running around the ring.
It's like, who's going to beat us now,
Who's
Daniel?
going to beat us now? And then Shinsuke and Randy just sitting there like, they're shaking their head like,
why am I here?
Like,
it's just for a paycheck, guys.
And then didn't they run in the back?
Yeah, they went in the back.
Daniel Bryan's just standing there looking at him like disgusted.
I thought they was going to win. So, who are you going to get next week?
So who do you have next? Who do you have next? He was like, it's not who I have next.
I forgot about that.
It's who Shane has next.
Then walks out.
Yeah, so Shane is going to be on SmackDown Live next week, obviously, after 2 weeks away at the Hell in a Cell, maybe to confront Owens and Zayn. And let's see who he has in store for them.
But the funny thing for me...
But they came back out.
Exactly. That's what was funny.
Because I thought the show was going to end when he said Zayn and Shane, and that was it.
But for some reason, they went back to the end ring to see Randy Orton. And
they just still standing there.
I think they did that on accident. Like, I honestly, that's what on Wrestle Talk TV said the same thing. They was like, somebody accidentally pushed it back in ring. So Kevin Owens and them like, well, we got to finish the show off. So then they went out.
And they was like... Yes,
we beat so and so. Yes, there was so and so.
Sammy and Kevin are the best, or something. He was saying something like that.
And then he mocked Shinsuke. He was like, "We beat Shinsuke," and then the little vibration.
Everybody mocks Shinsuke. Man.
Yeah, they do. And then that's when they did that little hug, and Kevin Owens, he was like, "Hug me, hold me close."
Yeah, hold me close. He's just. Kevin is a trip.
Yeah, I like that was fun. That actually had some real good, genuine emotion
to it.
Considering that they're two heels, so it's like they're the most loving heels I've ever seen. Like,
so I'm anxious to see what Shane's gonna do next week when he comes back.
That's the only thing I'm anxious about, though.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm really not really excited about SmackDown. I want to maybe Monday night will tell us more of what's gonna happen if there's gonna be a Jinder or Brock, and then maybe where AJ Styles fits into all of this too. So obviously it's looking like AJ's want to get back into the main title picture, which I'm glad he deserves to be there.
Definitely.
And maybe he's done with his little run with the United States title, and now he's moving back up to the top of the card. So
yeah, even though that match with Sin Cara was pretty uneventful, I like Baron Corbin right now. Just I guess just another heel, really, with the title. But I mean, I like him so far. His production has gotten a lot better to me. So
yeah, I mean that was an impressive win last week over AJ Styles, clean.
Yeah.
Too. So that's how I kind of figured he didn't win it by hook or crook or whatever they call it. He didn't win it by crook. So, and that's why I kind of felt like, well, maybe this rivalry's done because it was nothing else to make AJ go after.
Right.
Because like, okay, he beat me fair and square. So now he's back on the title chase. So that's gonna pretty much wrap up.
Yeah.
WWE coverage all together. SmackDown Live, Monday Night Raw. We do know TLC is upcoming this Sunday on WWE Network. Will the Shield be able to overcome 5-on-3? Will Alexa Bliss successfully defend her women's championship? Will Asuka win her debut match? Yes, she will.
Yes, spoiler.
Spoiler alert there. So just anxious to see what TLC is going to be about. We'll have a separate podcast and review for that next week. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, get into some MLB playoffs, talk to you about the NBA opening night. This is Sports Moods. 2 Moodies.
1 duty.
Sports. We'll be right back.
What is going on? We are almost wrapped up here at Sports Moods. 2 Moodies.
1 duty.
Sports. We've been reaching everything from NFL, college sports. Speaking of NFL, since we did our predictions early, which is something that we usually don't do, but due to the fact that we've done it on a Thursday night, and there's currently a game going on right now, I'm giving you an update on it. As of right now, Oakland has the ball. It's less than just under 5 minutes in the fourth quarter, down to the wire between Kansas City Chiefs and the Oakland Raiders. The Chiefs are up 30-24, but like I said, Oakland does have the ball. They just scored actually beforehand just to start off the fourth quarter with a 26-yard field goal to get them to 24. So they're only 6 points away with just 5 minutes left. And we will give you an update on who wins that and see if our predictions that we made earlier are right.
All right. Just gone final in Chicago at Wrigley. The Los Angeles Dodgers win the National League pennant. They are headed to their first World Series in 29 years. So almost 30 years that they've made their last World Series appearance. They win the National League Championship Series 11-1 over the Cubs tonight. 4-1. They win it in 5. They just went hammer tonight. Basically 11 runs, 16 total hits in the game, and they dethroned the Chicago Cubs, who were the defending World Series champions. Now that the defending champs are out, we know there will be a new World Series champion this year. LA's already punched their ticket to the Fall Classic, and tomorrow night we'll see the ALCS Game 6 between the New York Yankees, who lead the series 3-2 over the Houston Astros. They're trying to close out the ALCS to try to get to the World Series. Or will the Houston Astros force a Game 7 to try to overcome this 3-2 deficit that they're in right now. Shaping up to be a pretty good looking World Series, depending on whoever comes out of that Yankees-Astros matchup. I'm hoping the Yankees do, just for the sake of a New York LA final at this point. So just to see an East Coast versus West Coast, I hadn't seen that in a while in major sports. So LA versus New York would be huge.
I think so, as well as the other stuff we've recapped. We recapped college football this past weekend, also with some key matchups that are going on in this upcoming weekend in college sports. We just tackled WWE, good old wrestling, got into Monday Night Raw, leading into their Raw exclusive pay-per-view this upcoming Sunday, tables, ladders, and chairs. We gave our predictions on the matches that are on their card, as they call it, for this Sunday, as well as just giving a review of WWE SmackDown Live. And so now we're going to dive into some NBA. Now, it's a good old time of the year that we have all these sports going on at one time. You don't get it this often in a year, so enjoy it while you can. And we're going to talk about the kickoff to the NBA season. D. Moody, what you got?
Yeah, opening night was Tuesday night. We know Kyrie Irving and the new look Boston Celtics going in to take on the new look Cleveland Cavaliers. Obviously, we know during the offseason was a busy offseason in the NBA with a lot of signings, a lot of players getting traded to different teams. We know Kyrie Irving went to Boston after leaving Cleveland. We know the Celtics also signed Gordon Hayward over from Utah. And then we know that Dwayne Wade just a few weeks ago signed with the Cavaliers, as well as Derrick Rose and Isaiah Thomas through a trade. So Isaiah Thomas was not available in the first game of the season for the Cavaliers. It's probably going to be a while before we see him suit up in a Cavaliers uniform. But opening night, Celtics in the queue taking on the Cavs. And just 5 minutes into it, it was just a very horrible, gruesome, devastating, unfortunate, whatever word you want to use to put there for Gordon Hayward and his ankle injury. Broken. Just anybody who saw it, with me, when I saw it, initially, I had to turn the TV. I just could not look at it. I actually flipped to the baseball game, which I really wasn't really interested in. I wasn't interested in the baseball game, but I really wanted to see this Cavs-Celtics game.
Right.
But I just could not. I just had to let that time pass, and hopefully within the 15, 20-minute time frame that it would be off of the TV screen, or they would already have him in the back trying to get medical attention. But it was tough. And you knew it was tough when the Cleveland crowd, everybody's in the crowd with their hands over their heads.
It was really bad.
It was really bad. The NBA players, that were in the game, Wade, LeBron, everybody was just sitting there just like...
Yeah, and it's like going back and listening to it, you can almost hear it.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty gruesome, man.
Yes. Yeah, it was really, really tough. 5 minutes into it, we do know they signed him for $128 million, and he's injured and possibly out for the season.
Yeah.
So that's just a devastating loss. I saw a couple of my friends tweet, maybe this is Boston's bad karma for the whole thing, how, they pried Kyrie away, and the whole thing of how they got Gordon Hayward for pretty much of nothing.
And they pretty much threw away
Isaiah at that point, and, so it's tough.
Yeah,
so the Celtics are definitely going to have to
better look next year, man.
Find a way to get through. I don't think the season's lost.
I know they're going to be in the playoffs. They're definitely.
But I just think contender-wise, their stock drops.
To me, I was thinking they're going to remain number one like they did last year. Mm-hmm. Kyrie's definitely a good replacement for Isaiah, if not a better. That's pretty. Honestly, Isaiah was overlooked, throughout his career, mm-hmm. and he showed himself in his last playoffs against them. Mm-hmm. So, Kyrie was filling that spot, and I think Gordon Hayward would have came in to be a better 2 position for them. And I thought they would have definitely gotten number 1 seed this year again. But because of this, man, not saying Kyrie can't do it, but it's just looking harder for them.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot harder now. You could tell it really had a bigger impact on the game because the Celtics did fall down by 18 points. They were able to come back, and they actually took the lead late in the game.
Okay.
It came down to the final possession where Kyrie had to potentially shoot a 3-pointer that would have tied the game after he did miss it. But LeBron was guarding him at the end of the game when he missed it. And then immediately after the buzzer hit 0 and the clock hit 0, it was just kind of like him and LeBron dapped each other up. They did their normal handshake or whatever they do when they greet each other. He did it with several of the Cavalier players. So you can kind of see that there's still respect for Kyrie there with him, that they understand it. It wasn't like he left on bad terms. One of those situations like that. But, just the respect of it at the end of the day. Hey, you still my boy. Hey, and I think LeBron respects the fact, like, hey, man, you helped me bring a championship here to my hometown, a town where I grew up as the chosen one or the one that was going to be the person to deliver it, and without he understand what Kyrie's place was in that. What did you think of it?
No, man, I'm glad to see that, like you said, there's no real bad blood, at least publicly, between them. I'm glad that, I feel like some people could have taken the low road with Kyrie's actions and wanting to leave. And I feel like a lot of people, especially a lot of like people who interviewed Kyrie and sports people that interviewed LeBron, tried to take the low road, tried to push a divide in between them. Yeah. And, they were just like I love Kyrie's response when they interview him on First Take, like, why do I have to tell LeBron that I was leaving? Like, it's because of the fact, that because it's LeBron that we have to make it like I just disrespected the king, like literally, in a literal sense. And LeBron's just like, hey, the man wants to get it. Like, he wants to do it on his own. Let the man, do what he does. And like you said, I think LeBron has a sense of gratefulness for Kyrie for helping him get that trophy. So,
And I was talking with one of my coworkers today. He was saying that the big reason why Kyrie left was because Kyrie's people talked to the front office in Cleveland, and he was like, can you guarantee that LeBron will be here within that next amount of years? And they couldn't give him a guarantee on that. So go ahead and leave while you have the option.
Oh, yeah, because they would have kept him. Yeah. They would have forced him to stay without it. So.
Yeah, so he's been there in the bad years of Cleveland trying to help rebuild that franchise, and it was tough. So he got his championship out of it. So now he's with Boston. The final score of the game was, I think it was 102-99.
Yep.
That Cavs won it. LeBron James had a great night, 29 points, 1 assist shy of a triple-double, 9 assists, 16 rebounds in the game. Dwayne Wade had 8 points, 3 assists, and 2 rebounds. For Boston, Kyrie Irving, 22 points, 10 assists, 4 rebounds. Pretty solid effort there from him. Jaylen Brown really stepped up for the Celtics, 25 points and 6 rebounds. This was the first game of a back-to-back for the Celtics, because the very next night, which was Wednesday night, they had to turn around and play the Bucks at home, which they lost to the Bucks. Final score of that one was
108-100.
108-100. So right now Boston's sitting at 0-2 to start the season. Now, 0-2 is not like a panic mode type thing. NBA is long. You're playing every other night. It's 82 games in a season, so it's always, it's not like an NFL where we're like, oh, they're 0-2. It's
a lot of 16 games.
Yeah, it's out of 16 games. So yeah, there's a cause of concern. But 0-2 right now is no room to panic if you're a Celtics fan.
No.
We do wish Gordon Hayward a speedy recovery. A lot of the world and social media and other athletes outside of the NBA were just sending their regards to him.
Yeah.
Just with the fact of that injury, and just hopefully, he can get back and get to the team that signed him and get back to helping this team be successful. But it's a very unfortunate incident for him in that game. But Cleveland got the win. They'll be in action tomorrow night. So they've had a couple of nights off after this first one. After the game, I thought there was something that was very funny to me that LeBron said. They were asking, okay, what did you and Kyrie talk about when you guys were there? And he was just like, that's just between me and him, That's our personal conversation, that we had.
Right.
And then LeBron was there. He actually ripped his jersey. Back of his jersey got ripped in the game some kind of way. They were kind of poking fun at that. And LeBron was just saying, hey, I'm out of shape. And he kept literally saying, like, I'm out of shape. I hadn't really played in a lot of the games in the preseason. I, hadn't really had a chance to get together with this lineup to really get into the flow of things yet. So he knows that it's going to be a learning progress, learning the new pieces that they have. I think he was saying they have like 7 new players on the team or something like that to the team. So he was like, it's just learning everybody, getting everybody in a flow of everything. But him just saying he's out of shape, I'm sitting there looking like, really, LeBron, you out of shape?
Right.
But I mean, maybe from his standard and his expectation of himself, he probably feels that, hey, I need to be a lot better than what I am right now. So, but that was the first game, 102-99. C Moody.
The next game that opened up the NBA season was Houston going into Golden State. The Rockets playing the Warriors, which I was able to catch just the end of it. And really, the Warriors maintained the lead all the way from the beginning. The only times the Rockets held the lead before the last few minutes of the fourth quarter was when they scored first. It was 2-0. And, it was until the end that they made a rally to take the lead at the end. And they had a controversial ending with, I think, Steph missing a shot. And they going, kind of bouncing around the rebound. Kevin Durant finally gets it along the baseline and takes a shot for the jumper. Goes in. As the buzzer clocks, it looks like the Warriors win. And then the replay goes back and shows that the ball was still in his hand at 0. And so they had to give the win to Houston. And even a lot of the Houston players was already walking into the tunnel like, it's over. And so a couple of people had to come back out and be like, oh, we won. So, and for me, I mean, like you said, replays is, what the thing needs. But to me, I felt like the hand, like watching it live, it looked like it was nowhere near the clock. So, I mean, how I am. I can get with conspiracy and ideas. So, once again, WWE is on the same network with all other sports. And so, are we calling WWE a sport, or are we saying that everything has a script to it? But that's another story. But either way, it was a good game. I mean, they pulled it out, like I said, just missing the buzzer. Houston wins it 122-121. For the Warriors, we have Steph Curry hitting 22 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Klay Thompson, the other Splash brother, hitting 16 points with 6 rebounds. Kevin Durant with 20 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. Draymond Green with just 9 points, but 13 assists and 11 rebounds. And coming off the bench and doing good performance was Nick Young with 23 points and 2 rebounds.
He really got him going, too, with the 3-point shot.
Yeah.
Like from the outside, he came in on fire. That's just a great added piece to have, just coming off the bench, who can still, while Steph is sitting down, while Durant is getting rest or whatever, to have another person come in and light up the scoreboard like that.
And get this, 6 of 7 for threes. So only missed one shot.
Yeah.
8 of 9 altogether in his field goals. So
he was huge on those 3-pointers. Really.
And here's a stat I didn't know until looking at it. The Rockets only played 8 people as a whole.
Wow.
So we have James Harden with 27 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds. Chris Paul had limited time. Well, not so much limited. Still played 33 minutes, but got 4 points, 11 assists, 8 rebounds. Something that you always expect.
Injury,
yeah,
they were saying
that's been bothering him. So, and we have Ryan Anderson, 13 points, 8 assists. But on the bench, like I said, Mahamute 14 points, played 23 minutes. PJ Tucker had a good performance. Went 4 of 6 from 3, had 20 points and 6 rebounds. And Eric Gordon had a very good game that night as well. Even though he went 0 of 6 at the threes, he still racked up 24 points.
Yeah, and then he had a good two-handed dunk coming right down the middle and early in the first half of that game. So the Rockets ruining banner night and ring ceremony.
Yeah.
For the Warriors, they celebrate their second championship in 3 seasons. They lost their first game of the season last year to the Spurs, and what ended up happening.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure they're not really, your loss is a loss, but I'm pretty sure they're not devastated by losing this first game. Hopefully Draymond can get back depending on what the extent of his injury is. I still think this is the team to beat in the NBA.
Oh,
This is why we saw so many moves throughout the offseason to try to contest against this Warriors team. So I still think they'll be, in the running, the favorites to win it all. And they did lose the opening night game, but by 1 point to Houston. What's some of the games you got on tap for tonight?
For tonight, we already seen 2 finals already locked up. The Raptors beating the Bulls 117 to 101. The Thunder pretty much emphasizing a win on the Knicks.
Quick update. Didn't mean to cut you off.
Okay, go ahead.
Game is now tied. Thursday Night Football.
Oh man,
30-30 right now. 16 seconds left in the game. Right now, Amari Cooper is having one heck of a night. He is well over 200 yards receiving on the night. He and Derek Carr went to town. For Derek Carr, 28 of 51, 416 passing yards, 3 touchdowns to no interceptions. And Amari Cooper, 11 receptions, 210 yards receiving, and 2 touchdowns in the game. And also for the Raiders, Jared Cook had 6 catches, the tight end, for 108 yards and 1 touchdown. So we're sitting at 16 seconds still remaining in the game for Thursday Night Football. Looks like we're missing a classic here.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm going to flip over to the Chiefs right quick. Alex Smith also good night, 25 of 36, 342 yards, 3 touchdowns. Kareem Hunt, another good night, 18 carries, 87 yards rushing, no touchdowns in the game for Kareem Hunt. Tyreek Hill, though, 6 receptions, 125 yards receiving. Receiving touchdown. We also had Wilson with a 63-yard reception for a touchdown, and Travis Kelce, 4 receptions for 33 yards and a touchdown reception in the game as well.
Okay.
So we're going to keep an eye on that in Oakland to see how this wild one is going to finish. We're all knotted up at 30. Didn't mean to interrupt the NBA segment with it, but wanted to let you guys know what was going on there.
So, like I said, the Thunder overtakes the Knicks. And now,
they must have took a touchdown off the board because it just changed back to 24.
No way.
So it had to be some kind of call or something got overturned because it was just 30-30 and it jumped back to 24.
No way. Man, my phone's dying. I can't see this.
It just literally went back to 24. But it's first and goal at the Kansas City 1-yard line.
Oh, they're going to score.
So if they score extra point, they win. 8 seconds left.
Oh my goodness!
So I'm going to be looking at it here.
Do you have what? Is it on ESPN? What?
No, it's on CBS right
Dang,
now.
I was going to say you can watch.
If I had my Amazon account, you could stream it for
How about that? All right, so let me go ahead and hit this the LA battle, the Battle of Los Angeles, as D Moody put it. They're about to go into halftime. You have just 30 seconds left. LA Clippers are up 53-42. The Los Angeles Lakers, they are playing right now. Blake Griffin already has 18 points with 7 rebounds. DeAndre Jordan has 15 rebounds with 8 points. On the other side, Lonzo Ball, who everybody was looking for, has only had 3 points so far. He did hit 1 for 2 with 7 rebounds. Lopez has 7 points. And Nance Jr. has only 8 points. And so that's what we have going on so far in the NBA right now playing. They're off the bench, though. We see Clarkson, what's his name? Jordan Clarkson, that's what I thought, has 11 points in just 11 minutes. Coming off the bench, 1 for 1 for threes, 5 for 12 field goal.
So right now, 3 seconds left in the game. Sorry, guys, this NFL. I feel like we're just doing the NBA and injustice right now.
Forget them. Let's...
but that's how it is this time of year with sports going on. 3 seconds. Ball first and goal at the Kansas City 11-yard line. So possibly a last-ditch effort for the Raiders to try to end their 4-game losing streak here. Just waiting to see what's going to happen here next on the ending of the game.
So while we're waiting to see what happens with this last play, we are totally wrapped up with sports moves, I think, for the week now.
Yeah.
Like I said, we've covered everything from the NFL, NCAA, WWE. We've gotten to the playoffs for the MLB. We find out one half of who's going to the World Series with the LA Dodgers. And possibly the New York Yankees can take it tomorrow, or is it tomorrow?
One more game if they can win it. If the Astros don't force a Game 7,
against the Astros, and then as well as we've opened the NBA season and what just happened tonight, and we're trying to see what happens at the end of this game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Oakland Raiders. So when you finally hear this uploaded, of course you will know the result of this game, but you will know that we predicted it ahead of time and are going with it as it's going on. So when you reminisce on how this game went, you can reminisce with us as we're trying to keep score for you right now. But
it is final.
It is over. Did they score? Go ahead.
Kansas City wins it.
Ha!
30-24. Triple zeros on the clock. Chiefs are now 6-1.
6-1
on the season. The Raiders have lost 5 in a row. What an effort tonight by the Raiders.
Yeah, definitely.
Derek Carr coming back with the injury and playing on a short week. 2 games in as many days, and over 400 yards passing. The game by Amari Cooper, over 200 yards receiving, the 2 touchdowns. But Kansas City
pulls it out, huh?
Pulls it.
Good job, out. Kansas. So both of us go into the week 1-1 right now.
Yes, Kansas City is going to pull it out. Basically, that's what it's telling me right now, unless something crazy is going on.
Right.
I'm looking at it.
Mine still say 3 seconds.
Mine is on the phone saying 0.
My tab. this Vizio remote tablet is kind of slow. So.
Yep. So it looks like Kansas City. Basically, I'm showing you, unless I want to hang tight in case something
You're
weird.
showing it to me.
It's saying 0. So
matter of fact, screenshot it and share it right now.
Yeah, we're going to see, just to make sure we deliver you the right information on this. And if we're wrong, for sure, we will apologize. But from what my phone is telling me, they have won it. So we both picked Kansas City to win this. So
yeah,
CJ has a 2-game lead on me on this season. So I'm definitely needing as many wins as I can get to close it out.
So as we are ending, we're ending Sports Moods. In a bit of a more personal note for us locally, my wife, I'm sorry, even though she is still was in the bed, my wife's birthday is tomorrow. So I just wanted to tell my wife, C Moody, happy birthday from me personally. She'll be 24 on the 20th, because I know this will be posted by the time this is uploaded. It will be the 20th, so it'll be her birthday. So happy birthday with just 10 minutes left, because it's 9 minutes, because it's 11:51 right now as we're recording. And I just want to tell my wife happy birthday, and I love her. You want to say anything?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I accept cash. Gift cards, gift baskets, food, whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
Happy birthday to T Moody on that.
I know you can't hear it, but everybody's clapping for you.
So what I'm seeing now is tied again at 30. So I don't know what's going on with this game.
It says it's tied now?
It's saying it's tied again.
Get
so
out of here.
I don't know. I'm confused. I don't know if the phone is catching up to what's really happening. So
it does say 30 now on mine too.
I have no idea. So I'm assuming we may be. I thought the Chiefs won it because it had literally zeros on the clock.
Yeah.
For quarter 4. So I don't know, but we're gonna go ahead and wrap up Sports Mood still the same.
Okay.
We thank you guys each and every week for tuning in to us and giving us the opportunity to give you guys all of our knowledge and be your go-to in sports. Again, follow us at Sports Moods. On Instagram at It's Sports Moods.
Yep.
We're now available also on iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio, and I have to say, for those who've watched and who've listened to us on iHeartRadio, thank you, because it took some time for us to get approved on iHeartRadio. But since the day it approved, on that very first day, we've received 20 plays. I don't know if you've listened to the whole thing or in part.
So
D Moody just showed me.
End of regulation, Raiders win it 31-30. We thought Kansas City had it. It is now final. Raiders in the 4-game losing streak. So we celebrated way too early.
We did.
So we both got the first pick of the NFL week wrong. Raiders win it 31-30. Thought the Chiefs had it.
Yeah.
But maybe when we go back and look at the highlights, we can figure out what happened because the
definitely.
phone was just not.
And we'll try to give you some little bit throughout the week. We try to keep up with us. Like I said, keep up with us on social media. Like D Moody said, we try to continue to be relevant and give you some updates on sports and what's going on in the sports world throughout the week until we meet again next week. We've given you everything from the NFL, NCAA, WWE, MLB, NBA. Maybe we'll come back to some hockey or whatever else is going on, because I know hockey season just started. Mm-hmm. Even though we're both not hockey proficient, we are sports moods. So that's what we do. But once again, I'm C Moody, as always. 2 Moodies.
1 duty.
Sports. See you next week, guys. We're out.